Today I'll talk about SIP and RTP, the secret life of VoIP packets. Why should you care about SIP and RTP? They are really the backbone of voice over IP. They power these apps, Zoom, Microsoft Teams. This is very important if you want to get into voice over IP. This is what we will cover in 5 minutes, but no promises. We'll go over SIP, we'll go over RTP, we'll go how they work together, the anatomy we'll get into, what they look like, common pitfalls, and then we'll discuss some security. What is SIP? It's a session initiation protocol. Think about setting up and tearing down. Think about it in terms of a dinner party. SIP is the host of that dinner party. It sends the invites, sets rules, and ends the event. It's the orchestrator of the event. It makes sure that these initiation and other things get done. Now let's go over a SIP call flow. Phone A and B want to connect. Phone A is going to send an invite to the SIP server. Then the server forwards it to the phone B. Phone B responds with certain responses, and then a 200 OK saying it happened. The video begins, or audio begins via RTP after the acknowledgement. So it's similar to TCP where there's that handshaking, but in this case we're not guaranteed reliability with SIP. It's just this is a layer 7 protocol, an application layer protocol to initiate and to manage the audio call. This is a diagram of a SIP call flow. This is a very loose idea, but this encapsulates what we're talking about here and the different steps, right? Phone A is trying to talk to phone B. They send the invite. Phone B is going to send that it's a 100 status code. It's trying, 180 it's ringing, and then finally 200. You get a 200 status code, and then you get the acknowledgement. Once that's done, that pseudo handshaking, you get the media. Then you finally have the call. Once the call is over, there's a buy is sent from phone A to phone B, and then phone B responds with a 200. Now we get into RTPs. We understand what SIP is, and we understand that SIP is how it initiates and some management of the call. RTP is the actual audio and video data. Depending on what you're doing, if you're just doing an audio call or you're doing an audio and video call, but RTP is the backbone of getting it done. It works at the transport layer, not layer 7 SIP does. This is on top of UDP at the transport layer. UDP is also that layer 4 protocol. You think about TCP and UDP. These are layer 4 protocols that are about transferring data, and this is designed for real-time delivery, RTP. We got to the party. SIP created the party. RTP is the DJ at the party. It streams the music once the party starts. Thanks, SIP, for starting the party. Now, how do they work together? SIP and RTP, VoIP magic. SIP handles the call setup. RTP handles the media transfer between the phones. They work in tandem, but they operate separately. Just a quick little anatomy of a packet, a SIP packet and an RTP packet. SIP is text-based, HTTP, contains headers, SDP. RTP is more binary. It has a sequence number, timestamps, and payload, which is voice packets. Common issues. This is what can go wrong during this process. You have one-way audio. The RTP is blocked. SIP registration failure with firewall or NAT. You can have packet loss, jitter, delay, misconfigured NAT rules. Then we lead into security. This is something that's incredibly important. What are the security risks and how do we mitigate them? Threats that are out there for VoIP and SIP and RTP type communication. Think about eavesdropping, looking into seeing what packets are being sent and what the content could be. SIP spoofing, you're spoofing as somebody. You're going to spoof the SIP protocol. DOS attacks, denial of service, sending multiple SIP requests and denying service. A man-in-the-middle attack, toll fraud. And then how do we mitigate these? We already use TLS for SIP to make sure transport layer security. We can use secure RTP for media. We can enable strong authentication, and we can monitor logs and call patterns. And we can use firewalls in session. And so I'll say thank you. We didn't get it in 5 minutes, but it was close enough. And I hope now you know more about SIP